We are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing?
What's good, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome on back
We are
over
here.
to the
Welcome, welcome,
podcast.
welcome. Oops.
Man, oh man. So it's been what, week and a half. We didn't do this last week, right? And
Right.
it's kind of like we discussed in the beginning. I know there was a couple of episodes that we did back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that was just kind of to make up some lost ground from missing previous months and whatnot. But I'm happy to be here, man. How about you, bro?
Oh man. Excited. Very excited. Um, yeah, like you said, we took a little hiatus. But glad we were able to come back stronger than ever, like we never left.
That's
um,
it.
but definitely excited about this. You said no sound? Why is there no sound?
Hmm.
Hmm. Let me try something here. Oh, you got it. Never mind. Okay, okay, I see
You gotta turn that volume up. I see.
it. What's going on, Mark? How you doing?
Welcome on in. Welcome. Good to see you. Because you're like, I tested everything out. What's wrong? What's wrong? That's always a streamer's worst fear. Can you hear me?
Right.
But what do they say? Is it really a live stream without tech issues?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Yeah. So how was your day today, bro?
Hot.
Gosh,
No, I was just kidding.
man,
It was
stop.
it was it was definitely hot, but it was good. No, had a couple appointments today. Sold a car, so that's always a good thing. But other than
Okay.
that, just try to stay cool because it was definitely a hot.
Man, I feel like, gosh, I talk to people about this every day. I think I change clothes like 3 times a day. And I'm not even exaggerating, man. I walk out of the door in the morning time and it feels like we about to bake cookies.
Oh yeah.
Open that door, whoosh, like just this huge feeling of like humidity.
Right.
And mind you, man, some days I leave home before the sun is even in the sky. And it's like just fire
Right.
outside. And
Just go ahead and crack that egg on the sidewalk.
right, man. And to be honest with you, man, I always say this, but I feel like this is the hottest summer ever.
I agree.
Honestly, man, it's very hot. Like when we came to Mississippi, man, to see you guys, it was super hot. I was like, God, I think it's hotter here than it is back at home.
Mm-hmm. Y'all thought Florida was bad.
Yeah, it's hot, man. It's hot everywhere. I've been looking, well, I've been hearing, people have been saying that it's been like fires going on in different parts
Yeah.
of the country.
Yeah, Hawaii.
Um,
It's real
yeah,
bad in Hawaii.
yeah. I think somewhere upstate too. I can't remember where, but there's some it's a few states.
Mm-hmm.
Not here because it's we got the humidity that makes it kind of hard to start a fire, but it's more so the places with the dry heat,
Right. Yep.
and it doesn't really rain a lot, but it's a lot of the places that are just dry in general, and the grass and the trees and stuff are moist, not moist, I'll say, which is what causes those fires. And
Mm-hmm.
I think California might not be too far behind because they're notorious for the wildfires.
Yeah. Yeah. This heat is crazy. My lawn is hanging on by a thread. Even the birds in my backyard are napping. It's 107 at night on the coast. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's nasty. Like at nighttime, it's hot. Like you sweat at night, and you would think like nighttime would be like the
Bro.
only time you would get some like relief, but it's not. That's not really the case.
Right. Oh my gosh. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. But I'm right there with you as far as like the heat, because partially of my work takes place outside. I'm
Yeah.
outside and I'm inside. So I'm
Hmm.
inside half a day and then outside the other half. And a lot to you, man, like I'll be questioning it sometimes. Like this is this is my I got some very loyal clients, man. And they're like, man, this is bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just get past August and we'll be okay.
Right. Cause
But
I'd be feeling like God is me again.
yeah. Right. Like, Lord, can you please send some rain? Maybe a gust of wind. I'm like, look, when it's cloudy in the sky and then the clouds cover up the sky a little bit, we be like, thank you, because it makes such a big difference
Hmm.
when that sun is not beaming on you. Martrice, what's good?
What's good? What's
Welcome.
happening?
Welcome on in. Great stream earlier. It was
Yes, yes,
Alan
yes.
Wake. Her Alan Wake. She's playing Alan Wake over on Twitch. Um, Interestingly enough, I played Alan Wake back maybe about 11, 12 years ago when it was on the
Hmm.
Xbox 360. And she and my that was a free game, by the way. Like I went to GameStop and they were giving away like just free games. Like, and it was
Hmm.
like a card, scratch the card off and get the code.
Yeah.
He's like, the worker was like, I gotta get rid of these. I just need to get rid of them. Here, you want this? I was like, sure. Full game, Alan Wake. And around that time,
Nice.
she wasn't really in the gaming around that time. So, but she remembers, bits and pieces of me playing the game. So, she's going through it right now. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. But it's been a long day for me, man. Just more so mentally exhausting than physical. I've did a lot of talking today. I did a lot of talking, meaning,
Same.
not just clients, but I had like two meetings I had to go to. One of them business related, the other one was more so very, very personal related. Just another situation that that's involving a really good friend of mine's dealing with that.
Hmm.
And sometimes you want to be that friend, that says I'm there for you. Anytime you need me, just call.
Yeah.
And this was a situation where they needed me. So it wasn't just a call. It was more like I gotta see you.
Right,
Like
right,
I
right.
have to see you. I'm like, okay. So I left my business meeting to go straight to, the destination, to sit there and talk and, be the friend that I am. So, you carry that with you like,
Hmm.
throughout the day and stuff like that. So, mentally, I'm a little tired, but I know that like the podcast here, talking with you and talking with the chat, of course, helps wind me down.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like a lot of people look at streaming as a means of winding down for the day.
Hmm.
Not really having to think about the what's going on in life and just vibe out for the most part.
Yeah.
But I had a good day. Like
That's
no
good.
complaints.
That's good. By the way, that cup looks very familiar.
Hey, yeah. Don't tell certain
Ab-
people I got this.
about that.
like, where'd you get that cup from? Yeah, I got this cup. I saw it. We did dishes. I filled this thing up with water. I'm like, this thing holds a lot of water.
Hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be on stream holding my gallon, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it was really hot today, man. I feel like I haven't drunk enough water. So I'm trying to like,
Right.
get this down before
Yeah.
I go to bed. Alan Wake is one of my favorite games. Okay.
Oh
Now I
yeah.
only played it one time. And it was. Have you played it in Alan Wake?
I hadn't played Alan Wake. I've seen some gameplay of it. It looks pretty interesting. Because I guess it's one of those like psychological horror type games. Um, so I might bring it to the channel after I finish Gears.
Okay. Oh gosh, Gears, man.
Okay.
I wasn't even thinking about Gears of War until I started seeing you play, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we gotta play Gears. We gotta get on Gears. We still ain't did it yet because we're trying to set up some stuff with Gears 5. They
Mm-hmm.
want you to log into this and log into that, and she didn't have her information, so I guess we're gonna do that at some point
Yeah.
this this weekend. What's up, Aqua? Dropping by to say hi.
Welcome in,
Mm. Part
wifey.
2 comes out in October. Oh, they got a second part coming out, really?
Yeah, Alan Wake. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool. All right. Um, so before we get into today's topic, we don't wanna do too much small talk because we could do this all day. Of course, we just like to, open it up with, a little brief introduction as far as how our days went.
Mm-hmm.
You all get us at the end of the day after we've been beaten up by the sun and beaten up by customers and all different type of stuff. Hey,
Ooh.
money was made. Who cares?
Right.
So, um, but to still be able to, come here and have an intelligent conversation is, you know, not off the books. This is episode 11 of what I would like to call a successful podcast, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but without further ado, before we get into today's topic, because this one's kind of been building up, um, we definitely would love for you to like the stream. Let's get those likes up. Let's get some comments going in. We have no problem with, you guys and you ladies, just sitting back and enjoying the podcast. That's cool. But we wanna push this out. We want to get this some exposure, of course, because I feel like this topic, much like a lot of the other topics, is important, very
Yes.
important. And
Yes.
bro, this is like the first topic that I shared on my socials that really got attention.
Really.
It got like when I first shared it on my Facebook, it got like 6 shares. I was like, wow,
Wow.
nobody ever shares anything I post,
Wow.
especially regarding the podcast. They're like, oh, podcast, what are these guys talking about? No, man, people shared it because I feel like it's a very relevant
Mm-hmm.
topic,
Yeah.
So, episode 11 here, to marry or to not marry. And, this could be put in a variety of different ways. And again, thanks everybody for liking the stream. And if you have Twitter, if you have Facebook or Instagram, share those links. There may be somebody out there who needs to see this. Everybody in the chat might be happily married, but there might be somebody out there that's like, I don't know, man. I don't believe in marriage. I
Yeah.
don't need to get married. We don't know who's out there, so we just want to share perspectives, and much like every other podcast, these are just our opinions, our thoughts. Take it or leave it, but we're not really holding any punches, man. So it would not be right for 2 individuals to make a podcast about marriage if they weren't married.
Facts.
I see that all the time. So many people make podcasts who have never been married,
Mm-hmm.
probably don't even plan to get married, but then they have it all figured out at the end of the day as far as what you should do about getting married. So that's just like me trying to teach somebody about cars, and I don't know anything about what's under the hood.
Yeah.
I'm not a mechanic. I don't have experience in that area, nor do I desire to be a mechanic or have experience in that area. I just take the car to a mechanic. Do what you do, man. I'll just give you the money and fix it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or you go to YouTube University.
Right. And disclaimer, we are not therapists, not counselors. We're just 2 black men that's married to some beautiful women. All right. I'm
Facts.
just saying. That's it. So, and we can end this here.
And that's it, guys. We appreciate you
That's
coming
all.
out. You know,
Hey, this was a lot faster than I thought, right?
in stream. Boop.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna kick this off with the newbie. We're gonna kick this off with the newbie.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna kick this off with the newbie. So, newly husband, ring still fresh on the finger, still ain't got no scratches on it. Like if you seen my ring, it looked like it been through Hades. It looked like it's been through Arcadia. It's been through
Ooh.
Sparta.
Mm.
It didn't been. It's so many scratches on this ring. It wouldn't even look right if it didn't have scratches. They just burned into the ring,
Yeah.
and it ain't bent or nothing. It's just nice cold steel and silver, and it's my ring.
Mm.
But you know, you still the ring is still fresh, and I'm sure everything is still kind of surreal. You're a
Yeah.
husband now, so much different than a boyfriend. Okay,
Yes.
so let me just say that boyfriends are not husbands. They're not.
That's
And if there's
true.
somebody out there that's listening to this, and you're a woman, you better understand the difference. You gotta stop treating your boyfriend like he's your husband. There's a major difference, and it ain't just a piece of paper; it's a covenant. And some people out there hadn't even heard of that word before. Covenant.
Yep.
That thing that's deep. That's like embedded to you till you die, pretty much.
That's locked down. Clink clink.
Yeah, it's just there. But anyway, um, talk to me, man. Like, how are you feeling as far as like being a husband? Going on almost 2 months.
Yep. Going on. Yeah, like you said, almost going on 2 months. I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, it's a really great feeling. It's still surreal. Um, that I am married. Um, cause I'm sure, and I hate to throw him under there, but my friend Mark here, I'm sure he's been wondering when it was gonna happen. You know,
Hmm.
um, I'm sure all of my friends, my family, they were just wondering if it was when it was gonna happen. They knew it was gonna happen. They just wanted to know when.
Right,
And I mean,
right.
it finally happened. You know, it's been really a great blessing, honestly. To be married to a very beautiful and gorgeous woman, who is very supportive in everything that I do. Um, and she's not afraid to tell me what's up. And that's what I like. I need somebody that's gonna keep me centered and everything like that. But overall, it's been fun. It's been really fun.
That's even better right there. To have a spouse that's like not afraid to
Hmm.
tell you, about yourself. We need that. Like guys
Hmm.
need that. Like we're supposed to be like, the leaders and on the front line, of course, but the Bible says that our wives are supposed to be our helpmates.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're supposed to be there to assist us, to make those hard decisions, to encourage us, to push forward when we don't feel like pushing forward.
Right.
And it's just so important. Like the husband and the wife, they just go hand in hand. And I think that's something that a lot of people, especially like modern day society, they don't think about. They
Hmm.
just think that you're just what changed. Like
Right.
you just have a piece of paper. I'm like, if that is what we're minimizing marriage to, then you've already lost the deeper origins of marriage. You don't care about what they are.
Right.
If you're just gonna minimize it to a piece of paper. So, but anyway, Let me ask you this: what what made you want to get married, and how did you know that she was the one for you?
So when we first met, we hit it off pretty well. We got to know each other, things like that. She liked some of the things I liked, vice versa. Um, the one thing that probably really got me is when she told me she used to play video games growing up. And one of her favorite games was GTA. I was like,
Oh,
oh, okay, cool. Um,
yeah.
but I mean, I think for me, the biggest thing was her faith, like her love for God, because she grew up in the church as well, and you know she wanted to go to church with me, and I hate to say this because it kind of sounds embarrassing on my part, but she's always wanting to do devotionals and things like that, um, and at this point when we got engaged, it was one Sunday we were in worship, and she just leaned over to me and whispered, "I want to get baptized," and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely the one for sure." At that point, I definitely knew. Now I always knew she was gonna be the one I wanted to marry, but that really took it over the edge, over the top.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I mean that, video games, faith. I mean, what more do you need
Yeah, right.
out of a wife? I mean, that's just amazing right there. Like we have the same beliefs, we have the same mutual interests, and I think that is so important. Like, I'm not saying you have to have a person has to have like a lot of things involved,
Hmm.
like, excuse me, a lot of things in common with the person that they marry.
Yeah.
But I do know that, the Bible says for us to not be unequally yoked.
Hmm.
So, being with somebody who may not share the same belief as you, or may have a different worldview as you, or may not believe in anything is a red flag.
Yeah.
So, but when you find somebody who either has the same belief as you or is open to it, is a big deal. So it's a really big deal. So I think that's pretty awesome right there, man. Um, what does I mean, I guess you could speak for her. I mean, she's in chat, of course. But
Yeah.
what does marriage mean to both of you? Because I can't address you and not address her
Hmm.
because you're both, you're one. You're
Yeah.
talking to one, you're talking to the other.
Right.
So, hey, Aqua, if you want, you can type in chat what your thought process on marriage, and
Hmm.
you can just verbalize it. Like, what does marriage mean to you?
Uh, First and foremost, it's a covenant made by God. The Bible talks about a man leaving his father and mother, clinging to his wife. Um, you know, the vows that we say, they're very true to this day. I mean, unfortunately, some people don't abide by those vows, but
Yeah,
um, you know, we're together through sickness and health, rich or poor, death do us part. Um, but I think marriage, the main reason for marriage for me is it was made by God. Like it
yeah,
doesn't get any better than that.
right,
Um, I think marriage is two people becoming one
yeah,
and going going about this world together and not as separate beings.
right,
I think marriage also is a time where you're happy together. There's going to be times where you smile, where you laugh. There's going to be times when you cry, when you argue. But at the end of the day, it's the joy and the happiness that it brings you, knowing that you have someone in your corner and you're not alone.
mm, that I like that. That's a great. Great definition right there, or in perspective as well. There really is no other definition of marriage other than what you just gave. And the world will try to like convince you that it is, and but it's really not. You can't change the origins of what it is because it came from God.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, it is what it is. And I can introduce my perspective just based off of that alone. Because like to me, just to kind of flip the question back around, like what is marriage? It's exactly what you just said. It's from God, and it's the way that He designed for us to live our lives as holy as possible. Because anything outside of that is considered to not be holy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna touch on that a little bit as the podcast goes on. But to take it a step further, when we talk about what marriage is, I love the actual illustration or demonstration of marriage through Jesus Christ Himself, because the Bible says that Jesus is the husband,
Mm-hmm.
and the church
It's his bride.
is the bride. And the scriptures go deeper, and it lets us know like a husband is an illustration, is the head of his wife. Jesus is the head of the church.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not saying, oh, the husband is Jesus, but it's the place, the role the husband plays is as if Christ was the husband or the head of the church.
Right.
So the Bible says that the wife's head is her husband. Okay. Once again, something else that's kind of um distorted in society, especially with this feminist stuff that we got going on in the world right now, that's
Mm-hmm.
trying to like distort um marriage, that's trying to flip-flop the place of a man in the world, the place of a woman in the world. So it's kind of head to head, neck and neck, when it was never designed to be that way. But when I look at my wife, I think about that. I think about, well, um, Christ is the head of the church, and He died for the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a video about this months and months ago. I was like, that is how a man should look at his wife. You're there for her. You should do anything that needs to be done for her, and you should be willing to lay your life down for her if need be.
Right.
So marriage is an illustration of the love that Jesus has for the church.
Mm-hmm.
That is why it is so important and sacred, and it's exactly why Satan hates it so much,
Right.
because he knows what it is. He knows what it consists of, which is why he's trying to defile it as much as he possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to pervert it as much as he possibly can. I don't feel like I have to go any further when I get into detail as far as what that means.
Yeah.
You can use your imagination. We are not stupid.
Yep.
Understand that marriage consists of a husband and his wife. And the Bible says that a man shall leave his mother and his father and cling to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Case closed. So there is no argument.
Right.
There is
Right.
no debate. It is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we take marriage very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this in our home.
Yeah. And
But
chat, y'all talk to us. What do y'all think marriage is to you? I gotta read this comment because it made me laugh. Mark says, "Yeah, I needed to know because I had to wait on you to get married first before it was my turn."
oh boy.
So, I think I mentioned this before. When he first started coming to the podcast, he and I grew up together. Our parents know each other from work and stuff like that. I grew up playing sports with him, along with my other brother Jeff,
Yeah.
and we all have this group that we hang out with all the time. Everybody in the group it was married except for me, him, and one other person. So
Mm-hmm.
now I got married, so he's next, and then we got one more we got to get married.
Hey, I'm all for it. I love it. I mean, I don't care how it's done.
Me,
as long as, as
as
long
long
as
as
it
it's
gets done. If you guys waiting on each
done.
other to get married, if that's what it is, hey, let the domino effect begin.
But the crazy thing about this is we had been talking about this since college. Everybody thought I was gonna be the first one to get married first. But
Mm.
it was actually the one that was not expected to get married.
You just never know when
You
love is gonna
never
hit you,
know. You
man.
never
You just
know.
you just don't know. It's so unpredictable, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
none of us know that, when that time period is gonna come. Like nobody knows. So okay. So with you, you've only been married for only so long, and there's only so much data. I'm sure you can share
Mm-hmm.
with people, of course. With me, on the other hand, I've been married for 11 years, and we've been together for 19 years total. So next March the 21st, 2024, will be 20 years of us just being together,
Yeah.
and we celebrate on the 30th of that month 12 years
Mm-hmm.
of marriage. So um my story, our story is a little bit different, than yours, of course. Like I said, we met in 2004 in an arcade, interestingly enough. And we hit it off there. I passed her by a couple of times before I got her number. Back then you had to write the numbers down
Mm-hmm.
on a piece of paper. So um, we did that, and I didn't have like a functioning cell phone. I had a phone, but it was like it wasn't working. So
Mm-hmm.
I just had it to look cool. I just had it to look cool. But hey, that number worked when I got
Yeah.
home. Called her. So we our history is very extensive.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little bit too extensive, for the podcast. Just to kind of summarize it.
Give us cliff
Um,
notes.
yeah, it took like 8 years for us to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And what's up, Carlos? Welcome in, bro.
Hey, welcome in.
Good to see you. It took 8 years, and of course, people got questions like, "What took you so long?
Yeah.
Like, why did you take so long to get married?" I'm like, "Look, you don't know what we went through. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know the ups and downs. You don't know whether it would have been a good time to get married too
Right.
sooner. Like that's one thing I've learned over the years. Like mind your business. Like there is no special time to get married. You do it when the two of you are ready. Like some people will try to like put these weird timestamps as far as on the relationship when
Mm-hmm.
somebody should be married. 2 years, no more than 2 years. I'm like, you guys don't even know each other within 2 years. It takes a long time to really, really get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
take it from me, us being together for almost 20 years, man, like within the last year, I say within the last year or two or couple years, I feel like we were relearning each other in a lot of different ways. And some people make the mistake of prematurely getting married to a person that they're not necessarily in love with, but
Mm-hmm.
they're just infatuated with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There may be, we're gonna keep it PG. There may be certain things about the relationship that you may really, really enjoy. And
Right.
you may think, well, this might be the one because, I like this, I like that, they do this, they do that. And I'm gonna just go ahead and marry. I'm like, no. that's not that really shouldn't be the motivator, but it is the motivator for a lot of relationships, unfortunately. And these people end up getting married, and then they start discovering that they don't really have much in common, and they don't really like each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then they end up, just divorcing after a while because there's nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with us, I can honestly say, neither of us are perfect, but I really like who she is. I love who
Mm-hmm.
she is. I do
Yeah.
love who she is. She gets on my nerves sometimes, you know. I mean, but that's marriage,
Yeah.
and I get on her nerves a lot. Probably more than she gets I got to throw that
Probably.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same. It's probably same here.
but as somebody who's been married for 11 years, I can honestly say, and I guess this is me just talking to you, just giving you brotherly marital advice,
Mm-hmm.
because people have this idea we're gonna be married, we're gonna be so happy, we're never going to argue. That's a lie.
Right.
We're never going to go through trials and tribulations. It's another lie.
Mm-hmm.
We you're gonna be tried. You're gonna be tried, and you just never know when, because it goes back to when I said that marriage is of God, and Satan hates marriage, and he will do anything that he possibly can to destroy it, to distort it,
Yeah.
to cause strife between the husband and wife. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And me and Martrice here, we like she said, we've been through a lot before marriage.
Yeah.
We did. We've been through a lot, man. Probably more than a lot of couples.
Mm-hmm.
Like some stuff that you probably wouldn't even imagine, but that's just a part of our story. Like a lot of people see us and like, oh, you guys are like couple goals. You're so cute together. You're so strong. I'm like, yeah, because we went through a lot of
Right.
storms
Right.
to
Right.
get to this point.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, like, yeah, marriage is meant to be durable. It really is. Like you got to go into it. You take those vows. You got to go into it with the expectations of, I know it's gonna be storms. I know it's gonna be hard times. I
Mm-hmm.
know that there's gonna be some trials and tribulations that come our way, but we took a vow. We're together in this. We have to get through these storms. We gotta keep people out of what God has ordained.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another problem within a lot of marriages. Letting too many, listening to too many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Letting too many perspectives into your marriage, and then that all that really does is just chip at the foundation of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that if I could give advice, the best advice I could give is communication is major. Within marriage, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever is on your mind, it needs to come out. Whether you think your wife will receive it in a positive way or a negative way, it needs to come out,
Yeah.
because she needs to know how you feel, and the response, her response needs to come out so you can see it too. Because
Yeah.
I feel like too many people, they hold back from each other.
Mm-hmm.
They don't keep it as real with each other as they think they do. And it's only when it's trouble in paradise, you kind of get to see those sides or whatnot. So I don't like surprises.
Right. Right.
I don't. So I need to know how you are now. What pisses you off? What turns you on?
Yeah.
What makes you happy? I need to know now. I don't want to know later down the line, 20
Mm-hmm.
years down the line, like it never worked out. I'm like, well, communication sucked. the whole marriage.
Yeah.
Of course, that's why it didn't work out. And I know and I know that it that sounds so simple, but do not dismiss their communication.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to say this to them because they might get offended. Oh, you think you're gonna be married to you 80 something years old and not ever offend your spouse? Come on.
Yeah.
Talk to some of the older cats out there, the ones who have been married for like 40 years. Shoot, sit down and tell you like a, a many of stories, a many of stories, and hey, we don't claim to have it all figured out,
Yeah.
but as we go, I feel like we're still learning, and keeping God at the center of the marriage is absolutely the best
That,
thing
that is definitely key.
you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can do as much as you possibly want, but if he's not at the center of it, it's bound to crumble
Yeah.
at some point.
And I think that's honestly, I'm sure we'll get into this later, but
Yeah.
that's exactly why I think a lot of marriages do end up failing. It's
Yes.
because God is definitely not the center of their marriage.
Yes. There's a lot of people who get married and God didn't tell them to get married.
Yep.
God did not appoint that person. I believe that there are some people in this world that God has for us.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do. And I believe that, Martrice is that one, because I mean, she wasn't exactly what I was looking for
Mm-hmm.
at the time. We all have a type,
Yeah. And
and,
it, and
she was,
and if you don't say you have a type, then there's something wrong.
y'all lying.
Y'all are
Don't
definitely
lie.
lying.
Do not lie.
Everybody
Come
has a
on.
type.
Everybody got a type. Everybody got a type. And, she wasn't exactly, my type. And I think vice versa, too. But there was just something, there was just chemistry there.
Mm-hmm.
There's chemistry there. We really enjoy each other's company. And that's another thing, do you enjoy being around your spouse? Do you enjoy their company? Can you laugh with them? Can you be vulnerable with them?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of I know uh I got a client now that's going through some issues with her husband. They've been married for over 20 years, and it's not peaceful in their home right now.
Mm.
It's not peaceful because just a lack of a communication and
Yeah.
some denial. It's a lot. It's a mess. It really is. And she thinks he's going through some sort of midlife crisis or something. I don't know, but yeah, there's definitely like some possibilities of things happening as far as like there was a spark. Oh yeah, it was a spark, man. It's like the Big Bang, Carlos. It was a spark.
Uh,
I tell people this story all the time. Y'all didn't see the way she looked at me. The way she looked at me, I had never had a woman look at me like that. Like she looked at me that day. I didn't even know it was possible to look into a person's soul.
she hit you with that. He's cracked. I'm pushing.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, she still looks at me like that to this day. To this day. Like they say, the eyes don't lie.
Yeah.
They don't lie.
Mark, you stay out of this.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna have to tell this story because
Sure.
even Aqua said it. Like
Yeah.
most of my friends and families thought I was really gonna end up marrying a white girl.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because I mean that's who I hung out around the most, and I honestly I've probably dated more white girls. Well, I ain't gonna. When I say this, don't make it seem like I'm a gigolo because I ain't. But I've had fair share of relationships. But I've probably dated more white girls than black. So everybody thought that I would end up. My type was white women, and I was like, no, my type really ain't white women. I just, whoever I connect with is my type, which
Right.
happened to end up being white women.
Hey, man. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, you like what you like. At the end of the day, no discrimination whatsoever. Um, here's another funny story. So, Martrice was working with a coworker not long ago or whatnot, and I guess she was new, so she was telling her coworker that she was married and she got kids and all this stuff, and she was like, "Oh, that's wonderful. How long you been together?" She's like, "Well, we've been together for 19 years
Mm-hmm.
and married for 11." Do you know what this woman's response was?
How did that work?
She said, "Oh, is your husband white?"
Wow.
I said, "This is what I did. I put my head down." I just said,
And you was
"I said, tell me you don't believe in black marriage without you telling me you don't believe in black marriage." That I couldn't imagine the look on your face when she said that.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
what does that have to do with anything?
Oh man.
And the same thing happened about 10 years ago to me. So this was like maybe a year into our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I had a client, and one day she saw my wife, and she said, "I don't know why, but I always thought that your wife was white." And I'm like, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything is wrong with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm all for like interracial relationships, whatever, man. Whoever you love, that's just who you love. But
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand the correlation with saying I thought your spouse was this. Like, what do you mean? And I'm gonna tell you what. I'll tell you what they meant on both sides. My client thought that because I'm heavy into fitness.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of black men that's like really, really in good shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they end up with a lot of white women
Yeah. Yeah.
because white women really love men
Fit
that are in
guys.
shape.
Yeah.
Black women, on the other hand, they don't have to have all that. They don't. Like, they don't mind a brother that's, kind of heavy or
Dad
whatever.
bod, baby.
They don't care. They don't care. And as far as like, the question that Martrice was asked, that told me that there are some black people who just don't believe that marriage is still that important
Mm-hmm.
to in the black community.
Yeah.
Because I just don't understand. Like, dang, man, like, wow, like you really think like that? Like, what? She couldn't have been that intelligent, right? Or to even say something like that. I would never say that to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, if you were like, "Oh, we've been married for X months. Is your wife white, by the way?"
I would have run with it. I'd have been like, she was, but she stayed in the oven a little bit too long.
And there's the sarcasm. Carlos
That would have
said,
been me.
as if white people doesn't divorce. They probably divorce more than black people. Because the percentage, I mean, it doesn't specify statistics, I don't think. Maybe it does somewhere. But it's more white people in America than black people.
Mm.
So they probably do divorce more than black people. Because I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a lot of black people that's really not getting married. They're not getting married.
Which segues
And
into our next topic.
exactly. So that this is I didn't plan that, by the way, because I didn't think the white thing was going to come up. but, but it did. It did. You opened the door for that. So there's a couple of, just different topics that, we want to cover regarding, marriage and why people aren't married. Because you see the title here, to marry or not to marry.
That
And,
is the
and
question.
that's completely up to the individual, of course. So I'll start with this. Why why aren't young people getting married in this day and age? And by young, I'm talking like under the age of 30. Because when our grandparents and stuff were older, I mean, we're young, they were getting married like at 19,
18. Yep. 18,
18,
19.
19. And whenever it was possible to get married, they wanted to get married so bad, they would lie.
Mm-hmm.
They're 17, I'm 18.
Right.
And stayed married. Okay. So why do you think that younger people under the age of 30, let's say between 20 and 30,
Mm-hmm.
aren't really getting married anymore? Because I'm seeing them commit, but not
Yeah.
that far.
Um. Number one, you just said it. Commitment. Like some people just don't. They're not ready to be tied down to anybody or to anyone. Two. Um. I say they want to live their life without having to have someone in their ear all the time. Um, being jealous and insecure because, I mean, let's face it, when you get into a relationship and that person brings their baggage to that relationship, whether it's
Right.
jealousy, whether it's insecurity, and they start accusing of things that's not even happening, that could turn people off. Um, I think the number two reason would be independency. They want to be independent. They don't want to answer to anybody. They don't want to. They want to do their own thing. They want to make their own money. They want to live their own life. Basically, that's how I see it. Um, but I think the number one thing is definitely commitment.
So they don't want to commit. They
What's up,
they
Barry?
want to they want to make their own money. Two things come to mind. I feel like these people want to be in a relationship with an exit, with an emergency exit.
And see, and those you that definition right there, that is the definition of a situationship.
Yeah,
That ain't a relationship. That is a
right.
situationship.
Exactly. What's up, Bear? Good to see you, brother. Um, I feel like if you don't want to commit, then what are we really doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what it is in a minute. But what are we really doing if we don't want to commit and you want to keep this sense of independence? Because to
Mm-hmm.
me, if that is what it really is, then you're right. It's not a relationship. It's a situationship. But of course, people will disagree to
Right.
that. Okay. Because again, we're not here to tell anybody what to do. We're just breaking it down to what it looks like on the outside. Because I've always lived by the notion, what are we really doing if we're
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship for 5, 8, 10 years? It just doesn't even sound right to say we've been together for 25 years and we're
And we
not
still
married.
not even married.
That sounds
And
so weird.
you
They got
and
kids, they got grandkids. Imagine having grandkids and they say grandma and granddaddy not married. Grandma and granddaddy got
right,
different last names.
right. Let's see. Carlos says some married just to get out of their parents' home. Yeah, I would say that too. But man, it it is definitely going down to commitment issues. Just like you said, I mean, I've known some people that have been together for quite some time and they're still not married yet. Um, I actually met a couple yesterday that have been engaged for a while and they hadn't got married yet. Only because I guess, they had just had a kid, and so they had to, you know, kind of backtrack and, save up for the wedding and everything.
Come on, man. Save up for the wedding.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna
man,
leave that alone right there.
man. Nah, I'm not. I
Yeah.
ain't. Look.
Okay. Well, just for the moment, because I don't want to lose my train of thought. We'll come back and attack in a minute.
Yeah, go for
Okay.
it.
So, like I said, I feel like the relationships these days want like a exit plan, like just in case this doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, you already don't have any confidence in the relationship
Mm-hmm.
or whatever you want to call it. There's already no confidence. Personally, I just feel like people just want to be together just to hook up,
Yeah.
to shack up with each other, just somebody to
Mm-hmm.
sleep with. Like, I feel like, dang man, like if that's all it is, why don't you just say that's all it is, and
Mm-hmm.
don't call it a relationship? You know what I'm saying?
It's a situationship.
To be afraid of commitment, where is that? Where does that come from? Does that come from culture? Does that come from experience? Maybe their mom or dad got a divorce or something like that. Like, where's the fear come from? Because I don't see people not committing outside of it, them not being afraid
Yeah.
of it. I've never been afraid of commitment, like ever. Even
Right.
when I was a
Right.
teenager, I've
Mm-hmm.
I had no problem with committing.
Yeah.
But it's weird to me because statistically, people literally are not getting married, and some of them are on purpose. Like they're opting for like being together. I've heard it. I've heard people say things like I said, I don't want the government in our business and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize like if you die or something like that, and you let's just say you're pretty wealthy, your assets, if you don't have that like in writing, they're going to next of kin,
Yeah. Yep.
and it ain't your boyfriend that's gonna get it. It's not your
Nope.
girlfriend that's gonna get it, and none of them are gonna get it. It's gonna be mama, son, uncle, whoever, but not you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a situation happening like that, and this woman was the dude died, and she didn't get nothing. She
Yeah.
was pissed off. I was like, well, you guys decided you wanted to go about things the way you wanted to go about it. But
Mm-hmm.
in this country, you have to go about it a certain way.
You're right.
So you get nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Carlos says, yeah, that social pressure is pizza.
Let's see. Mark says, for me, 10-year partner. I want to marry, but the issues come to career timing, money as a poor grad student, saving for a wedding, and social pressure of having a type of wedding. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All those are, I mean, and that's not to say that those aren't bad reasons for a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. And I mean, it might not be the time yet. So I think. Dang, I lost my train of thought. What was I about to say?
Shoot, I don't know. You just said it might not be the time, and I was following you.
Yeah, I mean, but you're right though. It might not be the time. Um, it's whenever that time comes, you will definitely know. And I mean, who's to say you can't really be engaged for a long period of time either?
You can because we were engaged for a long time. Like I said, 8 years before. Well, no, not yeah, 7 years or so
Mm-hmm.
before we actually got married. So you definitely can be engaged for a long time beforehand. But there's a lot of different reasons as to why people, put the marriage off, put the wedding off and stuff. But I want to look at this from a Christian standpoint, not a worldly standpoint.
Yep.
Because if we look at this from a worldly standpoint, there are no rules, there are um no regulations, nothing. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a scripture I cannot remember where, but it says, you know, if you cannot contain yourself, if you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
take you a wife. You know what I'm saying?
That
And
is First Corinthians 10, I think.
I believe so. If you can, if the two can't contain themselves, let them be married. For it is better, for you. It's better to marry than to burn
Right.
in lust. And I know that's a hard scripture right there, but it is what it is. That's what it
No.
says. So
1 Corinthians 7.
1 Corinthians 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at it from that perspective right there. So I'm gonna I ain't got no shame. And I'm sure that Martrice don't either. Because just like we stated in the beginning of this podcast, marriage is between two people, the husband and the wife. I don't give a crap what nobody else has to say or thinks outside of that. Um, when I got saved in 2012, being a new creature in Christ, I my thought process changed a lot, and certain things that um I didn't really bat an eye at, when I was in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but like under a magnifying glass now, and I started feeling conviction about things. So I'd say, let me see, it was January 2012. We got married in March of that year, because we were living together, and I told her like, hey, I feel it, a conviction for us to be married. And it's not, it wasn't like it was a spur of the moment thing, but it was more like, you guys have already been together for like X amount of years.
Mm-hmm.
She's already shown you this is who she is. Just go ahead and marry her. So we did. We went ahead, got married, went downtown, got our marriage license, did our thing, justice of peace, and we were married. Like, we didn't have a huge wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do none of that. We didn't go to the church. We didn't go to the wedding. We didn't have none of that stuff. None of that stuff. It was me, her, and our oldest son. And now he was the witness. That was it. And a lot of people don't know that. Why? Whose business is it?
Yeah.
We wanted to be married. So that's what we did. And it was us. And we been happy ever since. We didn't pay thousands upon thousands. I'm not discouraging anybody at all. You get married however you want to. That's your day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you want to celebrate it on a grand stage, do whatever you want to do. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know for us, we were not in a position to do that, and we needed to be married ASAP.
Yeah.
It just needed to be done, and we did it. And then that was like, a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
We are right and pure in the eyes of God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So again, everyone's different. Everyone's situation is different. So, but that was just our personal experience of how we came together and we got married.
Right. Right. I mean, ours was kind of the same, almost about the same situation. You know, she had moved up here for a new position, new job. So we were, we were living together for a couple months, and at this point, I was like, and we both believe, in not shacking up. So it was like, if we're gonna do this, we need to go ahead and do this. Honestly, our first idea, it was gonna be top notch. Cause one thing about us, we are jokesters, and we love to have fun. So we were actually going to do a surprise wedding. Now, how many in y'all in the chat know what a surprise wedding is? If not, I'm gonna tell you. So we were going to do an engagement party. Like, we were just gonna invite people, invite family and friends, and just tell them it was, hey, we're celebrating our engagement, yada yada yada. We're gonna have food, music, all that good stuff, and we were gonna walk in, and we were gonna go up to the front, and we were just gonna look out. Hey, thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate the level of support. But we're actually about to get married right now, and boom, that was it. So we were gonna do that, and we got to pricing out everything like the venue and catering and things like that, and it was just like, nah, let's just do the justice of the peace. So
Right.
I mean, cause honestly, and it wasn't that. I'm gonna say it wasn't that expensive like we thought it was gonna be, but it was expensive.
Right.
It wasn't no $10,000. It was more like five. Well, it for the venue itself it was like four, but then we had to take in consideration
Hmm.
catering and stuff. So we were like,
Yeah.
okay, it's probably gonna be about $5,000 or $6,000. We don't need to do that. So yeah,
um, Bear says the world doesn't need to know. It's your business. That's the problem. Everyone wants everyone to know everything, and some things should be. Yeah, and again, Bear, that's why we chose to go the way that we wanted to go because
mm-hmm.
it's no one's business. How things go down. Everybody wants to be seen.
Yeah,
I know people who had like 20, 20, $30,000 weddings. Okay, 20, $30,000 weddings, only to
mm-hmm.
divorce, only to get a divorce. I'm not joking. Only to divorce.
Man,
I'm like, God, man, like, what was it for?
right.
What was it for?
Now it's one thing, honestly, and I'm gonna say this: is one thing like when it comes to the bride, if she's already got this dream wedding that she wants to do and she's already saving for it, that's one thing.
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But just like, all right, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna have this wedding. This is what the price is. We're gonna do it. Nah, that's mm.
Okay, so that's that as far as why we think people aren't getting married anymore. And don't get me wrong, and I'm pretty sure we're not here to like shame
Right, right.
anybody for not getting married. That's the last thing you want to do is shame somebody into guilt them into getting married, and then they may end up marrying the wrong person.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody has to know and then go down their own path. Like I said, it took us 8 years, so I'm definitely not somebody that's qualified to say get married ASAP.
yeah.
Go through your time, go through your rough patches, go through your time periods. It's just like Marjorie said in the chat, we went through a lot of stuff
Mm-hmm.
before we got married.
Right.
A lot of problems, lots of problems. And even after, we got married, we've had our share of problems. Not like then, but we've had a lot of problems prior.
Yeah.
Sunshine, what's up? Welcome.
Hey. Oh,
Good to see you.
hi.
Good to see you. Welcome on into the stream. Happy Friday to you. So good to have you on over.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
as we talk about this subject here: to marry or to not marry. We getting pretty personal right now, Sunshine. We getting personal. So
We are.
get you some popcorn or some of that food, because you know we know you love to eat. This girl right here, she could put some food away.
Man, what?
Um, she could put some food away. Man, I look at your streams and I get hungry. I get hungry.
Right?
Oh, it's glad we're good. It's glad to see you too. We're glad to see you as
Yes,
well.
yes. Let's see.
Um,
Carlos says, going by your point earlier, marry how you want as long as it doesn't leave you poor.
facts, facts. And we were not poor after we got married. You know, people be sacrificing rent and mortgage and car note just to be married. I'm like, yeah, now y'all got to live in that car. The same car that says just married. You know, then you gotta consider the honeymoon and all that stuff too.
Right,
But you
right.
know, that's a whole other subject there. Um, next on the list is why some marriages fail.
Mm,
Why some fail.
okay. Uh, Number one, and it, it's always, when you're doing your marriage counseling, things like that, they always talk about, you know, the reasons that marriages do fail or could potentially fail. And the number one is always finance.
Okay. Now, I talked about this with somebody not long ago, and you would think that the obvious answer would be like infidelity,
Mm-hmm.
cheating. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not number. That's not number one. It's up there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not number one. Um, Finances definitely are like a issue
Mm-hmm.
within marriages and stuff like that. Sunshine says lack of communication. I
Yeah.
agree
It's
with
it's
that.
definitely up there. Yeah.
I I guess it's like subjective. Some people would put them neck and neck, the lack of communication and the financial issues and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So for some people, finances is not a problem.
Yeah.
Or for the lack of communication, I think what that is, it's a crack in the marriage that if it's not addressed, it can get wider and wider and wider and cause and give spawn off a whole lot of other
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the lack of communication can spawn um financial problems,
Mm-hmm.
not being open about it. Maybe one spouse has a spending problem. Maybe one spouse has a saving problem or a gambling problem or something like that, but they're not iterating that over to their partner,
Yeah.
which comes back to Sunshine's point of lack failure of communication. Not telling your partner how you truly feel. This
Mm-hmm.
is about marriage, folks. I'm just gonna keep it real. Ain't nobody holding no punches.
100.
Okay, you have to tell your partner everything. How do you feel about finances?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about intimacy? How do you feel about going, quality time, things
Yeah.
of this nature? And a lot of people don't communicate that too well.
Mm-hmm.
They just base it off of assumption instead of just sitting
Right.
down. Hey, can we have a talk? Can we talk about something? This is how I've been feeling lately.
Mm-hmm.
And just have a subtle conversation like you're supposed to. Like if there's a problem, you're supposed to talk to each other. But if you never communicate it, it just opens the door for a whole lot of other problems to fall in the
Yes.
mix.
Mm-hmm.
So to say, what causes marriages to fail, then yeah, finances are definitely up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does that become a problem within a marriage? Like, don't you think that if communication was on point, would finances be the reason that
No.
people would get the divorce?
Mm-mm.
Because people will be able to communicate a little bit better. How do we get out of this bind? How do we solve this problem?
Right. Right.
It's because a lot of people they shut down when finances come up. They shut down. They don't want to talk. They want to shove it under the rug. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk about this. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This needs to be talked
Yeah.
about.
And that's one thing that I'm still learning.
Right.
You know,
Never stop
communication.
learning.
Right. Oh heck no. You know,
No.
you think you know a person, you learn something new about them every day.
Yes.
But yeah, that's one thing I'm definitely still learning. As far as communicating and things like that. So, um,
Um,
oh yeah,
Bear
Bear.
says finances, finance, lack of intimacy, and communication. Those are big.
Mm-hmm.
Those are big because those are three needs within the marriage. Yeah, remember, folks, like when you make that commitment to marry somebody, you're supposed to be that person's everything
Yep.
to the
Right.
point where they shouldn't have to worry about you. You be their everything so much that it won't even the idea of popping in their heads of looking in the left or the right direction
Mm-hmm.
isn't it wouldn't even be an option because that right there is what leads to one of the top reasons, which is infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, infidelity that's an easy explanation.
Oh yeah.
I think that easily stems from a lack of communication itself
Mm-hmm. Because if
and
you're
a,
not
and a
getting
lack
it
of
here,
intimacy.
yeah, if you're
Yeah,
not getting it here, you can
exactly.
get it from somewhere else.
Exactly. And they don't even have to have a connection with the other person. They just step out like, well, you don't show me affection. You don't tell me you love me. You don't spend time with me.
Mm-hmm.
You work all the time. That's only gonna fly for so long. You know what I'm saying? That's only gonna fly for so long. There's a Bible verse. This is the part of the Bible I love, man. You don't really hear this in the pulpit too much,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why you need to read it. Like there's a verse that says, you should not withhold yourself from one another. Use your imaginations, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You should not withhold yourself from one another unless there's a time period that you agree to it. So that means that, hey, that means, ladies, don't hold back. Now I'm talking to the married folks that don't hold back. He wants it. He wants it. Hey, make it happen. I don't have to say that for the fellas. I'm just gonna be quiet right there. I ain't gotta say that for the fellas. But you ain't gotta
It's
say
seen them spirituals, boy.
you ain't gotta say nothing. I'm just saying. It on a serious note, it is true. Um in the world, there are some people that treat intimacy like what's the word? They treat it like a ransom.
Oh my
Like a
gosh.
ransom. Some women, and I'm sorry, ladies, this is women. Okay? Guys don't do this BS, okay? There's women that treat intimacy like a ransom. Oh, you did this. So no.
Nah, you not
Not
getting
tonight.
it.
Not tonight,
They
mate.
they always and I
A long day.
man
What?
look. I'm telling you, it's the power of the P. Can't say the word, but
Yeah.
it's the power of it.
Yeah. Treat it like a ransom. Oh, you were acting like this and you weren't doing that.
Man,
Like,
you
oh, come
ain't
on.
getting none tonight.
Right. Why you shaking your head? Oh,
Well,
come on now.
and then
We, we,
that's when that's when the guys were like, all right, well, I guess I go get a towel.
exactly. That's and we're trying to educate people right now. We're talking about marriage and why it fails. You can't treat that like a
Oh
ransom
man.
because they will go out and get it.
Oh
They
man.
will do it. And we're trying to prevent that. We're trying to stop that. We're the heroes here, okay?
And
We're trying to help
again,
you out.
and again, we are not bashing women at all, but
Yeah.
women, y'all, I'm telling you, it's that power. Y'all
Yeah.
know y'all got the power, and when y'all use it, We done. We are
Women
done
do
as
have
men.
power. You got power, and y'all know it. um, Bear says yes. Yes, if the delivery comes off aggressive, then I'm going to get aggressive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Withholding is manipulation. Yes, yeah, it is. Now I'm gonna go a step further. Withholding is witchcraft.
That's a hex right there.
Hey, withholding is witchcraft. Don't be
I'm
putting no
telling you.
hex on your marriage,
Look,
okay? Withholding.
women, y'all are gonna have us men singing "I know the Lord and He heard my cry." Okay, don't do that to us.
Please don't do that. Don't do that. Bear says intimacy is important. People act like it's not until your partner's looking somewhere else to fill that void. Man, so who the heck think it's not important? Point that person out. What's wrong with them? Um, Sunshine says that's annoying. I'm in my own bubble. I'm learning from the podcast now. She over there with a plate full of food,
Got
taking it all in.
all in.
Um, Bear says, "What you won't do, somebody else will," and that goes for
I
everything in
hate it.
life.
Yep.
Everything in life, not even just that, but just everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just to steer this ship again, this huge ship. Okay, to
Right.
steer it back in the right direction as far as why marriages fail. Those are some of the same. Those are some of the reasons right there. Um, and like we stated earlier, if God's not in your marriage, whew, where's your foundation at? You know what I'm saying? Where's the foundation? And I get it. I know everybody may not, be a believer and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So we're not definitely here to push nothing on nobody. But look at the statistics. Look at them. The divorce rate is over 76%. 76%. That's almost like saying just um half of no more than half of people who get married end in divorce.
Yep.
And nobody's raising the eyes. How do we stop this? How? Like the percentages have raised up over the course of decades. They've gotten really high,
Yeah. Yeah, they have. Yeah.
real high. And those are some questions that need to be you know, need to be answered.
Yeah. And just a shameless plug here, guys. If y'all are liking the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and share if
Yeah.
you don't mind.
Please do us a favor and do that. Like the podcast. You're watching it. Do you like what you hear?
If
Like
not,
it.
tell us why.
If you don't like it, it's all good. We still love you. And share it too. How about that? Um, okay, so here's a fun one right here.
Ooh.
Let's talk about and this is if you're married. And if you're not married and you're watching this, it's okay. It's okay. This podcast is not just for married people. It's for people who are in committed relationships and you're thinking about getting married, perhaps. So let's talk about the importance of dating within marriage. Okay. I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm the vet
Since
here.
you the vet, yeah, go
Let
ahead.
me start. All right. So I like to live by the notion, however, whatever you did or however you were when you met that person, don't stop
Mm-hmm.
because that's what attracted them to you.
Yeah.
You can lose attraction from a person, even if you've been with them for so long, if you stop doing what initiated the relationship. You can fall. Some people don't believe in like you can fall out of love with somebody. You can. Because a lot of people they get married and they think, well, I'm married, so we're there. So we don't have to we can stop. You know, you met them, you were nice and tight, your body was banging. You know, ladies makeup, hair done, smelling good, guys haircut. You know, you ain't have no gut. Y'all were going out to the skating rink. You were going to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You got married. A couple years go by. She walking around the house with no makeup. Um, hair a mess. Nails ain't done no more. And he didn't gain some weight. You know what I'm saying? And stop putting deodorant on. I'm just saying, people get comfortable.
Mm.
And I'm not saying don't be comfortable.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
be comfortable, but don't be a mess either.
Right. Right.
Don't be a mess. Because if that ain't how you look when you got them, how long is that going to last? How much longer is that going to last? Like me and Martrice here, like I said, we've been together for almost 20 years. And we both take appearance seriously. Very serious. She'll tell you. Now,
Yeah.
when she met me, I had a head full of hair, by the way. This ain't my fault. All right. This was just hereditary. I had a head full of hair.
Mm-hmm.
I had my hair was down here, long hair. And remember, you had dreads at one point. I had corn right the braids. Um, it was back when you had the boy bands like B2K
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And, Bow Wow, and that was just hot back in the day. So
Mm-hmm.
I used to wear my hair like that, and I stayed fresh, smelled good all the time. To this day, I lack the hair, but I got muscle now.
Yeah.
So what I lost, I made up in a beard. It's a muscle. So, and she tells me she says you look better now than you did when you were 18.
Mm.
When you had hair, I love you the way you are right now. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I tell her all the time. I said, I feel like you look better now than you did when you were younger. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we age, I ain't gonna say when we get old. When we age, your face changes. Like it matures. You know what I'm saying? It matures,
Yeah.
and we we take appearance seriously. But we got our moments where we like, yeah, I don't feel like shaving for a few
Right.
days, or she might go around the house without no makeup on, which I don't mind because she doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
I actually prefer her without the makeup, like I do.
Yep. Same.
So
Same here.
we have not changed in that regards, that much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the dating aspect, we never stop, and we've taken it a lot more serious over the course of the last, I'd say about the last 3.5, 4 years, 3.5 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We try to go on a date at least once a week, at least once,
Yeah.
because one thing about us, unlike you and Mrs. Bearded, we have additions, that being our kids.
Yeah.
And a lot of people let their children dictate the direction of their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a serious mistake. I'm going to go on the record and say it. I don't know if you can clip on YouTube or not. I don't think you can. But your kids do not come before your marriage. No, no, no. If you want your marriage to stay healthy, if you want it to stay happy and prosperous, do not put your kids before your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense to put your kids before what was originally. It was you and your spouse that created the children.
Yeah.
Why would you put them first?
Right. Right.
You make sure your spouse is happy, and then your kids, will follow. I don't believe in the whole happy wife, happy life. I believe in happy spouse, happy house. That's what I believe in,
I like that.
because
Yeah.
you got kids here that are looking at the example of a man and a woman,
Yeah.
mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna be men one day, and we anticipate them gonna get married as well. Hopefully in the future.
Right.
So going on dates is so important. Like having fun together, falling in love with each other, you know, in those times,
Yeah.
putting your phone away. It literally like brings you closer
Yeah.
and closer and closer. Because when you stop dating, there's another crack.
Yeah. And
There's
that
another crack.
that's definitely something that I'm definitely trying to do better on. Cause I mean, when we first met, I had a job where I wasn't working 6 days a week. So we were able to do something every time we met up. But now it's like, now that I'm back in the car business and I'm working 6 days a week, I just come home and I'm tired and I'm like, I don't really want to do anything. But
Yeah.
I do it. It might not be as often as I want it to be or how she wanted it to be, but it's definitely something that I definitely need to work on because you know, just being honest.
Well,
Um,
nobody's perfect.
right,
You
exactly.
acknowledge it
So,
because
um,
you acknowledging it and having that pre-existing idea of you needing to work on it means that you care and that
yeah,
there's effort that you're going to put towards because nobody's perfect. I mean, we don't get it right every single week,
yeah,
because a lot of times we be super tired, man. Like God, tell them we be tired, Trees. Let me read some of these comments. She says, I feel like you're talking about me. Everything I say, you feel like I'm talking about you. It don't matter if it's like a million people in the room. You talking about me. Carlos says, you are the veteran here. Do you guide us? Let me sound
tell
like
them
I'm
again,
old, bro.
Carlos.
Bear says, well, I had hair when I met my old lady now 3 years ago, 1 to 2 year old. I'm bald. Yeah, that boy, I'm sure he pulled out. You did a Homer Simpson. Remember when Homer Simpson kept having kids and he kept losing hair? And when Maggie came along, he pulled out the last bit of his hair. Bro, that's how I think
Look,
that's true.
yeah,
Because um craft I said crafty. Martrice will tell you that over the course of years, I have a lot more white in my beard than I did.
yep,
I'd say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, you know, and me and you not really that far in age.
mm-mm.
I think I may be a year. What are you, 36?
Mm-hmm,
You'll be 37 this year. I mean, this month.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're the same age essentially, and I got a lot more in my beard than you do. A lot more, unless you dye your beard.
Nope.
Okay, I ain't think so. It's the kids.
I
It's the
don't know. I
kids.
don't know where mine came from, but I got
It's the
look. I got a bunch of like. I mean, you can see it's clear right here, but I know I got a bunch of it up in here.
Yeah, well, I know I do too. Like it don't show up that well on camera. You see me, see me in public person. It's like, God dang, dude, like they're all up in here, man. And I'm not shaving, and I'm not dying. We made an agreement. Me and Martrice both made an agreement. Oh, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that because I gotta deal with her after this. But
Nope. Too
we
late.
made an agreement to not dye. Well, I made an agreement to not dye my hair and just leave it alone. That's all I'm gonna say. And she's like, I like it like that. I'm
Got
like, all right, we'll say
gotta
this.
embrace the salt and pepper, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Got more comments here. Carlos, they go to the hairdresser, come back with hair tucked up. Like, come on, show me the flare up you got, woman. Long-term relationships require maintenance. You need time each week to stay connected. Yes, exactly. Now, the senior pastor at my church, he told us all that him and his wife, I think they've been married for 40 some years.
Mm-hmm.
But he says they have these 20 minute windows that they take every single day. So 20 minutes, they sit and they just have a conversation. They talk to each other, and that's all they do
Mm-hmm.
every single day. Um, I
Hmm.
think we do something like that, but it's not intentional.
Yeah.
Like we don't schedule it. You guys probably do too, but you're probably not intentional with it. Like got conversations, but he said that that was how effective that is, because he went through like a marriage series at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about how effective it is to do that, to give your partner that undivided attention. Ask them, how do you feel? How are you doing? How are you mentally?
Mm-hmm.
When you stop to do that, you have no idea how that makes somebody feel. Like, and for them to hear it from you, you know, um, Bear. I hope you don't mind me, bringing this up, but um, I remember you were talking to us one day, like a month or so ago, and for those of you who don't know, me, Bearded Bear, and we got another one that's not here at the moment named Flash. We talk every single day. In fact, we had an amazing conversation in Discord the other day. Let me get to the point. We're always encouraging each other. We're always saying, you're great. You're doing wonderful. Keep up the good work. And I remember you saying one time, Bear, that your partner told you, "I appreciate everything that you do, and I love the fact that you work so hard, for this family." And you said that just lit a fire under you, and that those words coming from your partner, it was like our words to you was like Dragon Ball Z reference. Our words to you was
Lend me
like
your
Kaioken,
energy.
was like Kaioken,
Yep.
Kaioken. Her words to you was like Ultra Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much it matters that the person that you love speaks life into you and talks to you. Show them that you love them,
Yeah.
and you want to hear you just want to hear that from them.
Right. And I mean, Miss Bearded, Quay, she's the same way. Like she'll every once in a while she'll text me. As soon as I get to work, she'll text me, and be like, thank you for everything that you do. I definitely appreciate it. And I'm like, man, now I'm trying to sell 10 cars a day. So
Right.
it definitely lights a fire under you when you hear your
Yes.
significant other, speak those words to you, um, because it is just one of those things where now you feel like you can do more. You want to do more. You don't just want to do the bare minimum. You want to go hard. Just every day, you want to grind, grind, grind. You don't even care if you're tired anymore. Your body might be saying, "Hey, bro, you need to slow down." Nah, bump you. I got my wife just told me this. I got to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to. You ain't got to look at no podcast. You don't have to look at a self-help book. You don't have to go anywhere, because a lot of people search for that motivation to thrive. They search for that motivation externally to keep going, when in fact all they need is their partner, that the person that they love, the person that they commit to speak into them,
Mm-hmm.
that those words that make them go that extra mile. You could be tired, you got 10-mile journey, and you're getting tired on mile 5, and then your partner gives you a speech, and then that's just you them boots dragging
Go.
to finish off the rest of those miles.
Mm-hmm.
And Bear said, I felt like I could lift the world that day. Yeah. Even to give you guys your flowers, the words you guys give me makes me feel powerful. The effort and the hard work being noticed by those love you. Yeah, it makes you stronger. It does make you stronger. It really does. Like, I feel like words. I mean, I'm not trying to like make this a conversation about the power of words, but it matters.
Mm-hmm.
It does matter. So yeah, going on dates, It's very important. Don't stop. I don't care if you're 70 years old. If you if you can drive and you can get up, go.
Yep.
I guess at that point, go for a walk in the park or something like that. We're just waiting for the kids to grow up. Like I said, we got one that's almost there. Two more,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting up there a little bit. And me and Mark Treese have already decided that we were gonna like travel cross country. We're gonna get in a car or whatever and just go on a road trip,
Mm-hmm.
go across the whole country.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Um, we've already kind of talked about the origins and illustration of what marriage is. We talked about that in the beginning. So I guess how to operate for a successful marriage. I guess I can kick that off. How to operate for a successful marriage. Let's understand that once we make that decision to come together, that it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about us. It's about us, which means your partner's feelings matter just as much as yours. Their dreams and aspirations matter just as much as yours.
Mm-hmm.
Their feelings and just everything they want to do in life matter.
Facts.
And I feel like, this is just a recipe. And along with a recipe comes different ingredients. But I feel like this ingredient is one that if you don't have in the pot, it's just not going to taste right. And that is supporting your partner in everything that they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it contributes to the marriage, contributes to the family.
Yeah.
Support them. That's another way of just filling up that confidence, um, being their everything, be their cheerleader, be their number one cheerleader, be their number one supporter, be their number one fan. Just be what you signed up to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of marriages, there's a lot of spouses that don't do that. They discourage their partners, they talk down on them, they try to get them to like do what they want to do and not what their partner desires to do.
Yeah.
Um, dictating things, in other words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think that's right. I think that's a definitely takes a nosedive for the marriage. It's not gonna bring success.
Right. Because I mean, you're both a team, and you both are star players on each other's teams. So you definitely have to be in tune with each other to make things work, to get that support that you've been looking for. Um, I mean, support definitely goes a long way. You know, Miss Beardy, she definitely supports me in my streaming, and she wants to do content creating, not necessarily like streaming, but she wants to do food videos, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
um, when she gets ready to start doing it, we're gonna hit the ball running. Um, and just support each other and everything. I think that's the biggest thing, chat. Just keep supporting your significant other.
Yeah. Sunshine says, I don't know if you're familiar with the five with the five love languages.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, I have that book back over here on my dresser. I bought it about a year ago. The first copy I had got from my dad like God dang, maybe like 10 years ago, and I can't find it. And then I bought another copy um last year.
Yeah.
Well, just to finish your comment, you said, but the words of affirmation is one of them. You have a love language that you speak in outwards, and one that fills your tank. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's love language is different, and I think that um, people need to learn.
Yeah.
If you don't already know,
Right.
learn your your spouse's or
Your
your
love
partner's
language.
love
Yeah.
language.
So what are
It
yours?
helps a lot. Helps a whole lot. Uh, my parents just my parents just go wherever they want to go whenever they plan because they got no kids to take off. See,
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to happen.
Right.
I'm ready to take off too.
So speaking of these love languages, what are yours? And Chad, feel free to comment what your love languages are.
Um, words of encouragement. Like I love to hear positive affirmation. I believe.
Yeah.
I can't
Where's
remember
it?
it.
Where's
I got it.
affirmation? Yeah.
Words of affirmation. Yes, I love when someone or when my spouse tells me things like it does something to me, like
Hmm.
it gives me like a second win, and for it to be sporadic too,
Yeah.
like out of nowhere, like I needed that.
Yeah.
Another one is touch.
Okay.
That's a love language for me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm, not to sound weird, but I'm a touchy person.
Hmm.
I love to hug. I'm a hugger. I shake hands with a stranger, but if I know you and we're cool, like I give hugs. I pat on the shoulder a lot. That's just me.
Hmm.
Touch is my love language. Yeah.
Okay. What am I? I know mine is quality time and where's the affirmations. I think those are my
Quality, yeah,
top.
that's another one. Quality time, yeah, that's another one for me as well.
Yep.
Sometimes you can think you're supporting, but if you're supporting not in their preference love language, the love tank doesn't get filled.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right,
Amen.
sunshine.
Amen to that.
Yeah, yeah. That's why it's our responsibility as spouses to study our
Yeah.
partners, study them, see what makes them feel good, what
Yeah.
what they don't like. I know what my spouse doesn't like, so I try to avoid what she doesn't like.
Hmm.
I know what she does like,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah. Carlos, man, I hate your phone's about to die, but we appreciate you coming through, man. Appreciate the love and support.
Always, man. We love you, bro. We love you everywhere.
Yes.
This man be on. She pops in on Kick, pops in over here on Twitch. You're just amazing, man. Thank you for being you. Because we're about to get ready to wrap it up now.
Yep.
Anyway, love that. I love that. Nice. Yes, yes. Mine's is quality time. Montree says quality time. I think quality time. I think we all got more than one love language,
Hmm.
and I think that who doesn't like quality time?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there that's like, I need my space. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
nah, obviously there's nothing wrong with having your space, but you know, when it becomes a problem, that's when you're not having your quality time together. That's when it can be a problem.
Yes, I agree with that. Absolutely. Um, that right there, folks. That's it. That is all we got. I mean, I feel like we cover a whole lot today. I feel like this was a very, very successful episode. Like I said, when I shared this on my socials, it got a bigger response than previous topics, like a bigger
Hmm.
response, which leads me in the direction of knowing what people really want to hear and what they want to talk about.
Yeah.
And because the whole stream, the
Booming.
chat has just been amazing. You all have been great. The perspectives, the thoughts, the comments, all of you, you all have been amazing, an amazing audience. Like we're really, really fortunate to be able to do this right here. Like
Hmm.
seriously, there's been times where we've done this, and it's just been us and a handful of people. Sometimes it's not about that, but it's about of course getting the content out there and just for anybody out there's discretion that wants to enjoy it. But I had a great time tonight, of course.
Yes, yes, it was really great, very informative. I'm definitely looking forward to him, doing more things in the marriage. With me being the newbie of the group, so
We'll revisit this podcast in a year, like his first year being married. We'll revisit it, of course.
so y'all gotta wait
But
till at least June, July.
right. So I guess like in closing, I keep looking at the episode title here, like to marry or not to marry. Um, this is my advice, and you can give yours too. I feel like if you're with somebody that you really love and you just can't see yourself with somebody else, and that person makes you feel good in every way possible, and they support you in every way possible, I I just feel like I would ask you this question. Are you confident in saying that that person is somebody that you're willing to commit to forever? That's what I would. That's the question I would propose. And if it is, then yes, I would say get married. However, if you feel like there are certain attributes that you just can't really accept or you think would be something that would be an issue
Mm-hmm.
down the line, maybe, and you don't really see that changing, so to speak, then I would be careful about making that decision because once you make that decision to get married, folks, we need to be going into it with the idea, excuse me, with the intentions of it being forever. Because nobody gets married and anticipates getting a divorce. Because a lot of people look at that statistic and it scares them to death to
Mm-hmm.
say that 76% of people get divorced. And so they're making these assumptions like, well, what's the point? You get married, everyone getting divorced. Why go through the trouble? Why go through the pain and the ache? Well, you're not everybody.
Yeah.
You're not. Your relationship is your relationship. Your love is your love. It's got nothing to do with statistics. Screw statistics. Do
Right.
what you got to do to make it work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at marriage. That's just my take on it.
Yeah. I guess. I guess my advice. I mean, you pretty much summed it up. You know. Um. The the big thing for me, and also D, because again, we're both men of God. We're both Christian men. Keep God center of your marriage
Yeah.
or your
Yeah.
relationship. If you're not married, keep him center of your relationship or your marriage. Because if you
Right.
once you do that, everything else is gonna fall into place. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
It says in the Bible, with God, all things are possible. So you have to make sure that He stays the center of your marriage, of your life, any aspect of being. He has to stay center of it. And I think once that's once when He's that center piece, everything is gonna be smooth sailing. Obviously you're gonna have your trip ups, you're gonna have your trials, tribulations, but you know, as long as you can fight through it together, everything else is gonna be great.
And that's another thing. I'll just piggyback off of that. I wanted to say this earlier, but I forgot. Um, if you just so happen to make that choice to get married, you're in for a ride. You're in for a ride. Just be prepared. Meaning, what I'm trying to say is, don't give up so fast.
Yeah.
I think that percentage is high. That divorce percentage is high because people give up so fast.
Yes. Be
One
be
little
the
dis one one disagreement,
Yeah.
one argument, one mishap, stuff like that. People just it's not gonna work.
Right. Right.
So they're not operating the way you want them to work.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna work.
In other words, be the tortoise, not the hare.
Yeah, yeah. The hair is fast and crafty, and tortoise smooth, taking his time, scoping out the scene, moving so slow they can think properly,
Hmm.
and success. But Sunshine said that's gonna be a good perspective year. Oh yeah, we're gonna be right here.
Year
We're
one of
not going. We're not
marriage.
going nowhere. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Another banger.
Another fire.
Yeah, on fire.
If my mic
um,
wasn't gonna make a lot of noise, I would have dropped it by now.
yeah, yeah. But we hope everybody out there has a great night.
Yes.
And if you and one more time, folks, if you have not liked this podcast, please give it a like. If you are, still watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Everything you do over here is free.
Free
Your
ninety
comments for free,
nine.
comments free, subscriptions are free, likes are free. This ain't other apps
Yeah.
on other websites. It's free. So
Yep.
we would appreciate it. It helps out the channel tremendously. And we'll be back the week after next.
Yep. So.
Wait, are you gonna be in town?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Wait. Hold on. Next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Cause before we end, do you have anything coming up for your channel?
So I am on Twitch again. So I'm streaming every Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. CST. Uh, Channel is Initial_D. That's INITIALL_D. I'm the only one on Twitch by that name, spelled that way. But as far as like events and things of that nature, there's some things that are pending, but that are not YouTube related, of course. But nothing really worth mentioning at the moment.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Um, the only thing I can tell you, obviously, y'all will see my schedule come out for next week, but and this is what I was gonna segue into. I'm wearing my JDRF shirt. No, I'm not holding my nipples, guys.
Ain't that
Um,
kind of party, man.
yeah. But I am wearing my JDRF shirt as a kind of an advertisement. So, um, next Friday starts my charity stream for the JDRF. We're gonna be raising awareness and money for type 1 diabetes. If y'all are new to the channel, we are definitely going to be raising money for that. If you're new to the channel, I am type 1 diabetic, by the way. But next Friday, we will be doing a special podcast over on Twitch, and we're going to be talking about diabetes, my journey with it, how I've been handling it, and everything. And then the following Saturday on the 26th, this guy is bringing Lay Experience back.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I don't even know what my. I'm
Wow.
tired. I'm tired.
Wow.
I'm tired.
Wow.
How could I forget that? How could I forget that? So yeah, Les Experience. Return of Les Experience is the 26th of August. It'll be the first episode of season 4. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But unfortunately, I went the mass majority of this year not doing any podcasts. It's like I said, it just wasn't the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Special guest is content creator named Divine Dragon. He is about to be retired Army in about 4 months. He's been streaming probably by as long as I have,
Yeah.
and I met him like right in the beginning of my journey. So definitely excited to sit down and talk with him. We were supposed to do this on season 3, but schedules just did not match. So, but
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely going down on the 26th. And not gonna say who, but I already have a guest for the following week.
Nice.
So that guest right there is somebody that nobody's gonna want to miss. And I didn't want to put it out there just yet. As
Mm-hmm.
bad as I want to,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do it because I didn't want it to take away any shine
Yeah.
from
From
episode
from
one
one. Yeah.
because
Right.
I want that all for Divine
Yeah.
because he deserves that.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be out the next day, which is the 27th. So y'all be ready.
Yes. Yes. And I didn't give a time for next Friday. It's gonna be the same time we've been doing it on YouTube at 9 p.m. But like I said, it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be for a great cause. I'll have all my donation links if anybody wants to donate, things like that. So definitely tune in on all social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you got. Make sure you're following us.
All right, that's gonna do it.
That is gonna do it. So uh, I'm excited for Divine's episode. Me too, Bear. Me too.
Yeah.
Cause I think I caught first. I think I caught like part of it. Cause normally D will do it when I'm at work, but luckily now this time when he's doing it, I'll be getting off work so I can tune in.
Right. And he's a character. He's got a lot to say.
Oh yeah, I love
He
it.
does.
Love
Like
Divine.
when he came to visit me last year and we had dinner, we talked a lot.
Yeah.
We talked a lot. So he's gonna be somebody that you guys want to tune in to check out.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, guys, again, that's the end of tonight's podcast of Two Pretty Guys. We thank you guys so much for your love and your support, all the comments, the likes, the shares, the subs. You guys are amazing. We are now at 64 subscribers. We are on a goal of 100 by the end of the year.
Yes.
So definitely keep the support coming. So we're gonna do this outro video and then we're gonna close it out. But I hope you guys have a great night, have a great weekend, get all the rest you can get, and we love you guys. Bearded out.
Have a great night. Be good this weekend.
Be very good.